Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Hello and welcome to Spoilers, obviously, the pop culture podcast where we're going to spoil everything that we talk about. I'm your host. My name is Ryan. I'm joined as always by my brother, Cody. Cody, how are you?
I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you doing?
I am surviving. We're back this week again. The podcast is a little late. We did attempt another podcast earlier in the week, but I was not drunk or stoned. I was just dead tired. We made it like 20 minutes in before it turned into like the Ryan and Cody experience.
It got pretty deep and heavy.
It got pretty deep. And Jess was like, well, just air it or just cut out. You can edit it together. I'm like, no, we spent like 25 good minutes on Trump. It's probably not going to, let's not put that out in the airwaves as we're trying to gain listeners. We love Trump supporters. We love everyone. They're great.
It turned into the end scene of the Joker there, and it was like, do you know what it's like out there, Murray?
It's been a rough few weeks, Murray.
Totally. But here we are. We're back. It's Thursday night, and we are recording a podcast. We were originally supposed to do it on Hudson Hawk. Kind of fell apart, and the quality wasn't as good as I would like it to be for a film that I hold so closely to my heart.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
But that got us thinking, with a suggestion from my lovely bride, Jessica, that we should talk about some of our other guilty pleasures that we have in our lives. And I texted you, and you said, that's a great idea. And we started formulating a list of some of our favorite movies, television, music, and a few video games that we are ashamed to admit we love in the deepest, darkest parts of our soul.
Wait, I need time to fix the thing now.
So, Cody, what's your opinion on guilty pleasures? We all have them.
Yeah, they're I mean, good for the soul. No, yeah, I mean, I think they're things that are like chocolate. In the world of like mass consumption and everything else, and media and creativity, and trying to keep one step ahead of yourself creatively in other ways, and in other ways, they're the disconnect. They're the extra flavor. I try not to. It's like you don't want to eat chocolate for every single meal. All the time. No, ideally not, they say. Yeah, that's what Fauci's saying. So, and the so I'm all game for it. I don't know. It's like it's you gotta have them. You gotta love stuff that you love. I heard, so to preface this and to start this, maybe this is me defending one of my choices for movie for one of my films, but it was a while back. There was an interview with Wally Pfister, Christopher Nolan's DP.
Oh, fuck, you're doing Transcendence.
Yeah, no. It was just Johnny Depp, hear me out, guys. No. But they were talking to him, and they were saying, he said something along the lines of, I don't remember how it started, but he was like, Christopher Nolan loves Michael Bay films.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, he loves them. And he's like, I don't know what's up. He wants to watch them. He just wants to see all of them. And in my brain, I'm like, yeah, because he's wound fucking tight. That he wants to sit down and watch, fucking Pain and Gain, and watch The Rock and Mark Wahlberg, discuss how to get to the right
pump.
Yeah, to get to the right percentage of body fat.
I'm hot. I'm big.
So I think you need him. I mean, yeah, I'm all game for him. I was more ashamed of them back in the day. You're always ashamed of things. I mean, especially like high school is that time where you're afraid of being yourself and accepting everything that you do find enjoyable. I feel lucky enough to be currently where I am, surrounded by enough people outside of my local family that it's a safe space for us all to talk creatively as pretentious artists about things that we enjoy.
And we've talked about the floor before. Excuse me. I work in a pretty blue collar environment, which I love. I love the guys I work with and gals, or whatever they are in 2020. But there are definitely a lot of things in my life, being a excuse me, Alex Trebek a fucking loser, a nerd, that I just, I'm not going to bring up that I adore to the hilt. And I think that's the thing that we don't really talk about guilty pleasures a lot anymore, because I think that the internet and places like Reddit and Twitter and Instagram with hashtags and what have you has become a safe space, so that if the movie Can't Hardly Wait is the center of your universe, you can find another 40 or so people on the internet and you can talk about it just to your heart's desire. Whereas, like you said, in high school, you went to high school in the late, or the aughts, I guess you would say, and
early
went to
aughts,
high school, they were, in the early 90s. So there was definitely, like, I was fucking banging Sting's what the hell was the name of the song now? Oh my God, I loved it. Sting's if I ever lose my faith in you. I fucking loved it, but I definitely wasn't talking about that at the table with all my Offspring and Green Day fucking fam. you know?
I was like really close to adding the All for One song on the.
Oh my God, yeah. Fuck, hold on, let me delete that. No. But as you get older, you give a fuck less, but you still give a fuck, Mm-hmm. And the last thing you want to do when there's something that you just love so deeply in your heart is to talk about it with somebody and have them go, yeah, that's retarded.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because it does become this new world where you can't even kind of call them guilty pleasures. I love about what's happening nowadays is that because of iTunes, because of the iPod, because of Spotify, because of all these streaming services, music genres just blend into one huge thing. Like riding in the car with Cody will take you down a path of Filter, and then switch over, and then switch over to Beyonce's Lemonade, and then switch back over to fucking Jaybird.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. It's one appreciation for music that I really love. And there's so many guilty pleasures that in high school would have been referred to as guilty pleasures for myself that now is just like, no, I mean, that's like Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a Rose by Seal is a great fucking song. Fuck yes.
Yes.
And that's just, that's some fantastic R&B fucking pop, and you kind of.
To me like a love addiction that I can't deny.
Yeah. And then just. Healthy babe. No, but so like, it's interesting. It's weird to find like what does create that guilty pleasure, because we do have access to some great talented humans and great talented people that you do have to. It was a lot of fun trying to put this list together to try to be like what actually is like a guilty pleasure, because each genre of everything comes with its own like no that's how they do this, like that it's not supposed to sound like Led Zeppelin, that's not supposed to sound like fucking Alice in Chains, this isn't supposed to sound like Kanye, it's really interesting, and it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, with that being said, let's get started, and I will move it to you. We're going to start with film. And Cody, why don't you give me the first film on your list that you classify as a quote unquote guilty pleasure.
Cool. I will. So this was cool. So each of these categories, most of these categories, I have like a little bonus one to throw in there. Some of them.
No, dude, we can talk about it. We're not getting paid by stamps.com. We can talk about whatever we want, whenever we want, however long we want.
I made this rule. But so movie number one is Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
I bring you Cybertron, your home, and still you choose humanity. You were the one who taught me freedom is everyone's right.
Yeah, that's a good guilty pleasure of mine.
Wait, so that's the third one, right?
That's the third one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give it to me. Because I have issues with this movie. I like the Transformer movies as a whole, those first ones, but give it to me straight.
I mean there is no straight to give. There's robots and they punch things in the face, and Peter Cullen does the voice for Optimus Prime, and
Oh.
Bumblebee is yellow, and Chicago explodes, and there's buildings that fall
Fucking
down.
Leonard E-Boy.
And,
right?
and Josh Duhamel as well,
Oh,
just
yeah?
now Ty Diggs and no, not Ty Diggs.
You've made a grave mistake.
Sorry,
Diggs.
Tyrese Gibson. Sorry. Oh my God, it's canceled.
I'll edit that out for you, but I just have to tell you, when we were watching The Mandalorian and fucking he's meeting with Carl Weathers, Jessica thought that was Lando.
It's a motherfucking Lando.
He's trying to eat me.
He's supposed to be with Luke.
Wait, when does this take place? All right, now go ahead. So go back. So
yeah.
Duhamel's so good to look at.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I mean, I remember, I was like, whatever in the theaters. I was like, this was a lot of fun. It was me, Dunn, and Allie in the Boston Common Theater with the 3D glasses on,
Oh
and
God.
Allie fell asleep before Chicago exploded, It was just a lot of fun. What is they think that the Autobots explode in the rocket, it shoots up, and they, the Decepticons come in, they blow them all up. You're like, oh no, hogwash. Oh, there's the one shot where Optimus swings in to the city, and it's one take, and he cuts four Decepticons into pieces. Transformers: Dark of the Moon is a guilty pleasure. And this is part of and this was basically what I did was I opened up my iTunes movies section, and I just scrolled through the films I've digitally bought.
I didn't even think to do that. Oh my God. Yeah. The third one was infinitely better than the second one. And I appreciated Michael Bay at the end in the third act when the Battle of Chicago's going on. There's these miniature little 5-minute action set pieces that happen and they occur and they move on to the next one. Whereas, I think the second one, I can't even fucking remember what it was called, but there was a 30-minute nonstop action sequence at the end of the movie that fucking just absolutely wore you out. My favorite memory from Dark Side of the Moon, though, was a reviewer who said Rose Huntington Wheatley, who replaced Megan Fox in the love interest role. They said Rose Huntington Wheatley makes Megan Fox look like Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, but Jason Statham don't care. No.
Oh God. All right, good pick. Yeah, that's a hard one to see. But in my view, on my side of the fence, you could probably talk about Transformers, Revenge of the Dark Side,
Revenge of the Pink Floyds,
fucking last night.
But I will say the following: Dunn and I tried to watch Age of Extinction or whatever that one was called. We got 30 minutes into that, and we
that was the Dinobots.
Yeah. That was.
I don't think it's a truck at all. I think we just found a transformer.
Shia made those movies, and anybody who thinks otherwise is a poopy head.
It's kind of true. Don't tell
All right, Cody. The first movie on my list. And I had the same difficulty you. I'm like, I love all these movies. I don't want to classify them as guilty pleasures. And this movie, I think within my core group of people, even members of our family, wanted nothing to do with this movie. And I was like, yeah, that looks pretty fucking stupid. But I remember picking up the soundtrack just because it had Jill Sobule on it, who was a indie darling of mine. And I listened to the soundtrack. It was fucking awesome. So I went ahead and I went to see the movie by myself. And I'm talking about 1995's Clueless.
I don't know why Dion's going out with a high school boy. They're like dogs. You have to clean them and feed them, and they're just like these nervous creatures that jump and slobber all over you.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if!
Good.
Clueless is a fucking amazing. And I love that movie. I love Alicia Silverstone and the voiceover and just the one-liner jokes and the as-ifs and the plaid skirts and the Donald Faisons and the Paul Rudds. I love everything about that movie.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's so much better than Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Just a little bit.
Clueless is the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Clueless is the shit. And it's hard to... It's still a movie that, I will talk in depth with, but it's hard, it's hard to find the right audience outside of the internet.
Yeah. No, and that's sorry.
No, please, you can wax poetic. I just the lines from the movie, that it's another one of those where me and my wife Jessica will still say to each other on a weekly basis, I can't remember who plays the father, Dan Hedaya, and just fucking when she comes down in the dress and he's like, "What is that?" And she's like, "It's a dress." Says who?
Calvin Klein.
It looks like underwear. Go upstairs and put something over it.
I was just going to.
It's just, just fucking God, yes. When I'm in the rest home, stream that into the waiting room 24 hours a day, so I can just sit there like Hector Salamanca, just fucking ringing the bell.
For every time you have
yeah,
sick reference, bro.
Sick reference, yeah. Clueless, and I watched a few clips of it getting ready. It's not. I know it's a meme. Paul Rudd looks exactly the same, if not better. So
Clueless is the shit. Yeah, I mean, and actually, that opens a whole nother can of worms that I was just thinking of. That literally, like, there's these films like Clueless. I would not, say a guilty. Clueless is fucking dope.
I know, yeah.
And that's
at
like
the time, though. But
that's exactly it. And so now, like, fucking 10 Things I Hate About You, fucking Bring It On. These films are fucking the shit. but at the time, I think they would be regarded as guilty pleasures. But 10 Things I Hate About You is a pleasure.
I'll fight fools in the street to fucking defend 10 Things I Hate About You. Anybody that's not guilty. I will have a fucking tattue.
Yeah.
Julia Stiles. Julia Stiles drunk.
Ledger right here.
Yeah. Julia Stiles drunk, jumping up on the table, dancing to fucking Biggie Smalls is the touchstone moment in my life.
Hypnotize. Yeah, no, it's totally true. Every time it comes on in this household, it's like
we do the same thing. So I guess we're falling down a rabbit hole, but I don't care. So I don't think I've ever professed my love on the podcast for Boston-based Letters to Cleo, who feature prominently in that movie.
It's very
it was on Freeform or whatever a couple weeks ago, and I just had it on the background, and I'm doing I'm cleaning the house, I'm playing with the dogs, whatever, not paying attention. And it's the prom scene. And then all of a sudden Kay Hanley starts belting out, Cruel to Be Kind. And Julia Stiles and I both did the same exact head turn to the TV. Like, oh my God, yes. Yes.
That's good. So
God.
Yeah. You were Julia Stiles. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so totally Julia Stiles.
I mean, 10 things we should do. Dude, we fucked up life. We need to do a whole entire podcast about 10 things I hate about you. That could be all day. I used to be there. God. That's actually quick aside. Actually, we call Logan Logie Bones sometimes. Logie Bonestein, because we were confused about what the line was. I think it's like Bogey Lowenstein.
Now remember, guys, rip it and rip it.
Yeah,
but so we call him Logie Bones, and so he refers to himself as Logie Bones sometimes. It's really cute. But so yeah, 10 things I hate about you.
I love the father in that, and if I had daughters, that was what I was going to base my parenting style on.
You want to know what's unfair? This is for you two. This morning, I delivered a set of twins to a 15-year-old girl. Do you know what she said to me?
I'm a crack whore who should have made my skeezy boyfriend wear a condom?
Close, but no.
That's so fucking good.
But she's a mutant. What if she never dates?
Then you'll never date. Oh, I like that.
It's so good. It's perfect.
All right, Cody, moving on. What was the second movie you picked as your quote-unquote guilty pleasure?
Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, my God. Wow.
My hat is like a shark's fin.
Wow, yeah.
In the most advanced research facility in the world.
Wow.
Beneath its glassy surface, a world of gliding monsters.
A team of specialists is working against the clock.
Did someone order the fish?
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea. What a fucking pleasure. I remember you and I seeing this in the theater when I was a wee boy. Thank you, Rennie, for everything you've done for us.
Rennie Harlan gets way too much fucking heat. He's a good director. He made one bad pirate movie and they fucking canceled him.
But yeah, Deep Blue Sea. What a fun, ridiculous pleasure that I have with that film. Between LL and fucking Tom Jane in his early days of my memory.
I don't think I'd ever seen him before.
Yeah. And which we had once in the Crow City of Angels, but we'll move past that. But yeah, Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, that's a fun time. The whole storm coming through, everyone's stuck in the fucking warehouse there. You got fucking Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, what? How did they pull this off?
It's amazing how long we've watched him just fuck up science experiments.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And then Sam Jackson, of course, with the infamous death scene that he suffers through, which was a total surprise for you and I in the theater at the time.
Nature can be lethal, but it doesn't hold a candle to man. Now, you've seen how bad things can get and how quick they can get that way. Well, they can get a whole lot worse. So we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together and we're going to find a way to get out of here. First, we're going to seal off this room.
Yeah, at the time, man. You imagine it, if that movie had come, I mean, such a great fucking in-your-face scene. It would either have been spoiled online or be hashtagged to death. You would have known. It was such a boom out of nowhere. So good, yeah. LL Cool J, but I guess he's on what NCI, CSI, one of those. Isn't he on television?
NCISI Gotham or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, those whole setups, those lock-in type things. Oh, I should have put fucking. It's not on here, but I should have put Snake Eyes as well. Brian De Palma Snake Eyes is a guilty pleasure of mine too. But
you would have definitely been right.
Yeah, those lock-in type things. When I can't remember when it first cuts to LL Cool J, he's cutting some food or something, and he hears the thing shakes and looks up, and he's like, feeding time or something ridiculous. And they're feeding the sharks.
So the movie's 21 years old, and not a time goes by where I'm not making eggs in the morning for my family. And I go, 3 eggs, not 2. Don't add milk. Most people add milk for density. This is a mistake. And I think about that every single time I'm making eggs.
That's good. Not a day goes by where I don't turn and look at the camera and go, you ate my bird.
You ate my bird.
Awesome.
But yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
That's awesome.
What do you have?
All right, so my next movie, I'm actually going to skip it over because I think we're both going to talk about my second movie here at the end. I'm thinking, I don't know. Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh yeah? Yeah, well, you're the one, Amanda, who's going to be embarrassed. Who's going to want you now?
Somebody.
Somebody. More like nobody.
Gosh, Mike, you really got me there.
This is another. This is another. Just seems like your atypical coming of age. End of high school, fucking party, one last night party movies. It's just, I don't know if, I think it came out in 97, 98. I graduated in 95, but it was when seeing the movie, it was oh yeah, those are the people that I went to high school with. And just kind of a murderer's row of those C-list fucking young people who didn't exactly break through.
Filled this with 7 bottles of vodka last September. It's been in my freezer for...
Ethan Hembry, Charlie Cosmo from Hook, Lauren Ambrose, who we'd later see. Yeah. Seth Green.
I got to have sex tonight.
Fucking, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was like the anchor of the whole. I think she got the movie made. But I love just the relationships between the characters, and I think I probably sympathize with Ethan Embry's character. Just kind of the oddball artist, with the one redhead friend who was in love with somebody else, and it was just, I fucking love this movie. It's another one, Tattoo It on My Heart. It's so good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. Yeah, that's the one that skipped the pinky finger when I was counting him down. That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. And if I remember correctly, too, doesn't it have a very like American Graffiti kind of feeling ending? Isn't like Ethan Embry like leaving for college or something, and he's like trying to confess?
Yeah, but they pull back on the it's got the good Hollywood ending where instead of Dreyfus leaves. Mm-hmm. And he's calling the girl on the phone, but Jennifer Love Hewitt actually shows up at the train station, and he skips and he waits and gets the next train, and they just sit and talk for a while. Oh, I'm just getting emotional just thinking about it.
That's awesome. That's good. Yeah, I can't hardly wait. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, and they're aren't they like the two guys that are waiting to jump food stamp Tom Cruise down?
Yeah. Yep.
Are doing like the Star Wars together or something.
Yeah.
Focus up, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him. Yeah.
And I love that it's almost like the Breakfast Club, he wants to get revenge on food stamp Tom Cruise, but by the end of the movie they're buddies. He protects him. It's so good.
Yeah,
him going into I think it's Paradise City when he's after he's been drunk all night, and he's like, the guy I used to tutor fucking loved this song. I'm like, oh man, so good.
That's awesome.
Well, so those are a few of our guilty pleasure movies. You said you had a few runner-ups. Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Yeah, they'll just be quickly, which I think people are coming around to this one. But Speed Racer. Wachowski for the podcast people out there following, needing to hear me say the words. But Speed Racer is crazy and bonkers, and it takes 15-20 minutes to get used to whatever the hell's going on there. But then once you're in, there is a lot of pleasure to be had with Speed Racer. And maybe Matthew Fox should just be my guilty pleasure.
That's for you to figure out. I just hope when you do that I'm there to see it.
It's ironic that you say that.
It's all good. I hope, does that mean Party of Five is coming up? I hope so.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
maybe.
Fucking Alex Cross. No. But yeah, Speed Racer is a good joy. There's some really interesting things that they do with that film. That I think if anybody ever cares enough to go back and revisit it, I'm lucky enough to force my kids to watch it soon enough. There are some interesting storytelling devices that Wachowskis use there, and they kind of push it all the way. But yeah, Speed Racer.
It's a gorgeous, beautiful film that definitely didn't get enough credit when it was released. And it happened at this funny apex time where all people were bitching about was all these big action flicks, they're too violent, I can't take my kids to it. And here's like the perfect kids movie that everybody can enjoy, and nobody saw it and everybody shitted on it because I don't know, there was no bullet time or whatever.
Yeah, no, totally. It was really interesting, but it's also really heartfelt too. Like the whole opening scene is like him like racing his brother's ghost. But he wants to lose to the ghost in the end because he wants his brother to stay,
Split second late. Our record still stands.
brother things obviously get me every time. But so yeah, Speed Racer. And then the last one I'll do really quickly. The first two, the Hobbit films, guilty pleasures all day.
Revenge! I will show you revenge!
All day.
No, I totally agree. And I think we've talked about it on the podcast before. I dig them.
I don't remember anything about Battle of the Five Armies, but the first two.
Yeah. Like I said, Evangeline Lilly crying over the dead hot hobbit was the only thing that I took away from the third movie.
Why does it hurt so much?
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect.
Fucking weird. I mean, I could rattle off 100, teen movies from the 90s as guilty pleasures. I think I put down Moulin Rouge, but just because I was grasping at straws. I think anybody who's seen this movie, I'm not even going to try to explain how great it is. I will say that this consistently happens for me with Baz Luhrmann movies where I see a preview, I think it looks stupid, I have nothing to do with it, and then I catch it on Blu-ray or on HBO or something, and it just fucking blows my mind.
Plague both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. A plague on both your houses!
Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, Great Gatsby, all fucking amazing films, and I love them. It's just hard not a lot of people see these films, despite their amazing casts and soundtracks. It's just, I will say I have Australia still in the cellophane in Blu-ray, and I've not gotten around to seeing that.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll probably love it.
The only thing you might be missing out on is that one scene where Hugh Jackman dumps himself in a bunch of water with his shirt off. But Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge is great.
Hold on, we'll be right back. No,
I had Your Song on for my songs, but I was like, no, Your Song by you and McGregor. Moulin Rouge.
That's fucking.
Let's not joke here, guys. Let's not.
My gift is my song, and this one's for you.
Let's not fuck around with Your Song. Moulin Rouge is fantastic.
Moulin Rouge is fantastic. All right, those are our movies. I'm sure there's thousands more, but we won't bore you with them. Let's move to television. The tube. You go first. Well, give me a show that you're ashamed to admit to people that you love.
TV shows were hard. TV shows were
very hard. Yeah,
for sure hard. And so I just boiled it down to anything that John Bernthal is in.
You gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch.
Oh my god, yeah.
So that goes for both Punisher seasons. Which are fucking ridiculous.
First one is so good. The second one is fucking abortion.
Yeah, and the first one, it's like, it's good, and then it has that one scene where he's like playing football with Micro's son or something. He's like, go long, catch it, yeah, you got it. And I'm like,
why don't you go along, buddy?
Whatever, that's fine. There's like hit or miss episodes, and the whole second season of Daredevil follows that as well. I think there's some really good Bernthal scenes, but this kind of counts for Mob City. This is,
Rick Grimes' last episode.
Yeah.
You're such an asshole. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am the asshole.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, but TV shows was hard, and TV shows was hard for sure. And I think a lot of that kind of comes into I try to be, I'm allowed to be, specifically in my work with the people that I'm kind of surrounded about, to be as open as possible, which is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
helpful to myself to be like, hey, Allie and I are watching fucking Sex Education, and I actually really enjoy that show. 'Cause it's rare that I find a show where I'm not like honest about what I'm enjoying out of it, which I think comes from this world where like it's not like you're not picking sides anymore. You're not fucking waving your Soundgarden flag while pissing on Guns N' Roses. It's not like it's like appreciating everything on its own level, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so that is the only TV show pick that I have. And I'm sure if I was given more time in years to go through, I'd probably come up with something like the small joys I get out of watching The Bachelor with Allie sometimes.
Oh, well, that should have been your first pick. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's rare. There's rare that there's like a storyline happening on The Bachelor when I try to watch it with Allie that I'm like, what the fuck's happening with that dickhead guy? Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But what are your shows?
So it was hard too because we're kind of in the same boat. We don't watch a lot of reality television. We don't watch 90 Day Fiance or The Bachelor or Too Hot to Handle or Temptation Island or whatever. So we're pretty discerning about what we pick and what we watch. And I've actually probably become the spokesman for television shows at my work. I'm the guy who got recommended something by a smarter guy on the internet, watched it, and then I go and spread it to the masses. I think this year of like 000 and The Outsider. So we're pretty particular, but there are some things where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to recommend that. One of them is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I fucking adore.
Girls, let's not be catty bitches.
It's just that you've grown up before my very eyes.
You're a rebel, Spellman. That's how I like my witches.
It scratches my Buffy, Angel, campy demons, fucking teenagers fighting them itch. I love that stuff. I less like the high school drama where, I love Josh, but clueless callback. But I hate I can't really say I enjoy that stuff, but just fucking give me Kieran Shipka going to hell to fight the devil for the rights to his throne, and fucking it's just so schlocky and good. Miranda Otto from Lord of the Rings, and I can't remember. I'm Lucy. I think her name's Lucy Davis, but she was basically the Pam in the original Office over in the British Office with Gervais. They play the aunts, and Melissa Gomez, who was the master on Doctor Who, plays like Lilith. We could turn this into Sabrina Bot. It's so good. So good.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to check it out. I mean, I felt like it was up an alley that I would enjoy.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. You just got to buy in. And you can kind of turn your brain off a little, and you can kind of, when they're when they're at high school talking about relationships, you just check Twitter and see if the NBA is back on. But otherwise than that, it was hard. We used to watch some CW shows like Arrow and The Flash. We kind of fell off on those. There was times when they were great and they were at the top of their game, but Veronica Mars was another one that we loved. Just, I don't know, blonde teenage girls. For some reason, we have an affinity for those shows. I'm not too sure what's going on. It's weird. And yes, Party of Five. Give it to me.
Charlie. All you want to do is talk about my tests and my treatments and my symptoms.
It makes me feel better to talk about it.
Well, it makes me feel worse.
I want to watch that. I can't find it anywhere now. It used to be on Netflix or Amazon, one of them. We got Jennifer Love Hewitt, Matthew Fox, Nev Campbell, and Scott, what's his name? Who all had the same acting coach who now go and act the same exact way in all their television programs. The squinty eye, like when they get perplexed or they're apoplectic, or the same cry. And Party of Five's great.
Or they're like, what do you mean?
Oh yeah. What do you mean?
Old habits.
Can't do that. Yeah.
You'll have to edit. If you're off from the coronavirus, we got to get together because I need you to edit a video of Jack from Lost doing the same apoplectic look as Nev Campbell in Scream.
the mailbox next to her spleen and
Okay, sounds good.
We'll get to that. All right, so those, television, we're pretty selective, but not a lot of guilty pleasure there. But I think this is the big one, Cody. Music.
Yes.
Music there's a lot of guilty pleasure. There's a lot of things in my headphones that I'm not letting anybody else know I love.
That's good. Yeah. Doing the Office Space scene where you like roll up the window.
Oh yeah, but not in a cool way.
Yeah, but not in a cool way.
Hear it through your headphones. That's right. Gina G.
This is pretty on brand.
Just a little bit. All my songs are pretty similar. Well, the first two, and the last one is a fucking banger. But I am white. I'm 42 years old. I've never set foot in a dance club, but fucking give me like 90s synth cute girls singing dance music and I will bop my head for fucking 5 hours straight. This is the shit I love.
That's perfect. This video is pretty on point.
Yeah.
You're kind of nailing this shit.
Yeah. It's the typical 90s. Everybody's wearing the Mambo No. 5 hat and the huge the Brian Colangelo collar. Yeah, it's fucking it's just awesome. I love it.
This is great. This is fantastic.
This is shit that I'm on the elliptical and just it's banging in my head and I'm going back and forth. I love it.
I gotta say, this seems like your playlist. The next up being on my thing. Next up is Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. This will go right into fucking Head Like a Hole from Nine Inch Nails.
This is perfect. Good. Okay, this is good. These are good things.
Just it's poppy dance music with a high treble female vocal. Just that's my wheelhouse.
Okay,
I'm not playing this at any parties, but until later in the night.
As the whiskey takes hold. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna send you over my first one.
3 a.m. Mustang speeding, 2 lovers headed for a dead end. Too fast, hold tight. He laughs, running through the red lights, hollering over rubber spinning. Big swig, toss another beer can. Too lit tonight, praying on the moonlight. Every John is just the same. I'm sick of their city games.
Yeah. So my first pick is Lady Gaga's John Wayne.
I love it.
Big fan of the song. I think, and it's funny too how much I've gone. Actually, the feeling of Lady Gaga in our house specifically, and with me in general, was when she first crashed on the scene. It was like, I'm not sure about any of this. You know, she's talking about disco sticks. I don't know if I'm feeling it. But it all kind of started to switch over, specifically Bad Romance, obviously, which I think was probably the one for a lot of people. Which was that video was directed by the great Francis Lawrence of Constantine.
Oh, our guy.
Yeah. But this whole album here, when Gwen was little, she loved Perfect Illusion, like no tomorrow. She would be 1-year-old Gwen. Ryan Signori would be falling asleep in the back of the car. We'd be driving to the mountains. We'd put Perfect Illusion on, and she would go. and wake to listen to it. She fucking loved it.
It's like Skynet coming online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she would rise. But this song is just, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. I'll throw it on. Her belting out the chorus there. Maybe it's just, it's Lady Gaga shouting John Wayne that really gets me going. Every single time.
Awesome, yeah. It's definitely like you got it blaring in the car, but the windows have to be up.
Yeah, you pull up to the red light and turn it down a little. You're like,
yeah.
But yeah, that's number one.
Good deal. All right, I've linked you my second one. Hanger, that'd be playing in a club that I'd have no business being in, but put this on the headphones when I'm on the treadmill going 3.5 miles an hour up an incline. You just got a great beat and I'm going to it.
Yeah, you're just like it's also quite fantastic.
Yeah. Directed by Johan Rennick.
Ah.
I don't know if he's done anything else.
But he does not need to.
The top YouTube comment. I used to believe they made this video using Excel.
Cells going on around here.
All right. What's yours, Code? Number.
Years and years, I chase their cheers. A crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this
So second song is From Now On from The Greatest Showman. And Ryan right now is listening, but he's only at the temping part right now. It hasn't picked up and really gotten emotional. But
I'll skip ahead.
But this song blares in our house quite often. But what a ridiculous film that this is. But this film is also a guilty pleasure. The Greatest Showman.
I'll admit to have not seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, the song started over. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, I have not seen the movie yet. Not out of any.
But so this is like the pinnacle. This is like the culmination of everything. Hugh Jackman is fucked up as P.T. Barnum. Who would have imagined? But in a different way. And, he's at a bar and he's drinking himself and he's sad and blah, blah, blah. And, the whole cast joins him to sing the song From Now On as he runs back to go get Michelle Williams. And Michelle Williams is always a rock star in every way. But yeah, this is a ridiculous. I can't believe this movie is rated G. That's awesome. But yeah, this song is madness. All of these songs actually were written by the gentleman who helped write most of the songs, if not all of the songs from La La Land as well. But there's one fantastic rendition of this song that they do that's like a live rehearsal that they do, which is fantastic if anybody actually wants to go out and seek out that one as well. But but this song, there's one fantastic moment too. I should have sent you the timestamp, but it's like at 3:35, Hugh Jackman runs away from the bar to go back to Michelle Williams to say that he's an idiot, and he's like running through these old-timey streets, shouting this song. It's fantastic.
Good deal. All right, yeah. From Now On, from The Greatest Showman, featuring Wolverine.
Yeah, bub.
All right, Cody. My list of songs is probably endless of ones that I roll the car window up, but I'm sending you my last one because I don't even know if it's a guilty pleasure because this is probably one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time.
Swaying room as the music starts, strangers making the most of the dark, two by two their bodies become one. I see you through the smoky air. Can't you feel
Madonna, for some reason, gets a really fucking bad rap over the last 5-10 years. I don't know if it's the way she does her eyebrows now, or people don't think that you should look that good when you're 75. But there was a fucking time where Madonna was God, and I think it peaked with Crazy for You from 1995's Desperately Seeking Susan, which I think was her first movie role. I'm not too sure. I know she was in a film with Sean Penn, which I cannot recall at this moment. This is a movie I saw when I was 8, probably shouldn't have. Which I could have included on my guilty pleasures because it's a fucking great film. But I think this is Madonna's best song. It's just the lyrics are so heartfelt. It was featured also prominently again in 13 Going on 30, which probably could have been on my list for film. Right there at the climax of the film when Jennifer Garner realizes that she loves Mark Ruffalo, but only when he was 10.
That's good. That's perfect. Yeah.
So Crazy for You.
That's awesome. No, Madonna. I felt like she was killing it for quite a while. There was the one song that came out in the later half of Madonna. it was like 2010. It was the last big album that she had. I felt like, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but I mean, she's always been delivering fantastic songs.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
She's been able to reinvent herself so many times. You know, she had the Ray of Light, and then she worked with.
Oh yeah, that's right, Ray of Light.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Which
Even her,
that's a great album too.
Yeah, even her "Die Another Day."
I ride for that song. That's a great song.
Yeah. But there was one thing. This was fantastic. That was so good. She posted some video. I can't remember the fuck the song was now, but she was like trying to do a parody version of one of her songs with but changing it to like quarantine. To some version of like being in the quarantine. And the reason I saw it is because Weird Al retweeted it. It was like, not so easy, is it?
That's awesome.
It was great.
That's awesome.
But awesome. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna throw you, since we kind of went down this rabbit hole, I'm gonna throw you this one, which will come probably is no surprise to you. But this will be the last.
Cody, a lot of people like Creed.
Yeah, this will be the with arms wide open. No, what is it? Can you take me higher?
The Pam meme. It's the same song.
Yeah, it is the same fucking them and Nickelback. But so this one.
Darling, I'm killed.
Oh wow, dude! I can't even justify this.
How can you not justify this? This is fantastic.
Man, I have not listened to this song since 1998.
You need to listen to it again. So that the last bonus one is Sheryl Crow's "Tomorrow Never Dies," which I'm very surprised that you can't justify this one.
Wow.
The video, I don't know if it can be justified.
Nah, she looks great. Yeah, this is pretty bad video.
But it's so like 50s madness. The chorus is fantastic as well.
All right, take this back. This is awesome.
Yeah. And she's like belting out the chorus while it's just kind of like nonchalantly moving with the melody in like a very 50s crooning kind of way. It's kind of fantastic.
All right, you're right. This is great.
And then like the descending like melody as it goes. Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Sheryl Crow is amazing. Leaving Las Vegas is one of the best songs ever written. All right, I take it back. That's a good pick. I literally, because that's not, to me, that's not a memorable Bond film.
Totally. Yeah. You get Jonathan Pryce and
the fact that in the next film they went right to garbage. I'm like, fucking whatever. We'll move on.
That song's fantastic. I feel like I can't even put that in.
That's a great song. All right, Cody, any other runner-ups? Any other songs?
Everything on my iPod. No.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. There's I'm trying to think, because I was with a buddy of mine and we were listening to Lana Del Rey's first album, and I'm trying to think. There's a song on there. It's been a minute since I heard it, but there was like a good month stretch where I thought it was the fucking best song ever.
It's
you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Is it Off the
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Let's just do a whole pod on After the Races.
All right. Okay, because I gotta hear it because I haven't heard it in a while. Because my friend shamed me so bad that I like this song. Yeah.
Shit.
He goes,
I would write it for Off the Races. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so perfect. When I Google it, there's staring me in the face is Jared Leto from fucking Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn, and it tracks.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Oh my god!
I just write off TO and it says The Races, song by Lana Del Rey.
Oh yeah, this is such a great song. I can't believe it. I forgot about it.
Yeah, this song is the shit. those first two, the Paradise Born to Die combo, and then fucking your collaboration with Dan Arbach there, with
Ultraviolence.
Yeah, those just masterworks. Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. I feel like I played Off to the Races to some friends of mine as well that were like, "Man, she's good, but she's fucked, huh?" And I was like, "This is quite wrong."
You just don't understand.
You don't understand that I have a Las Vegas past.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
Good deal.
Yeah. I actually one whole guilty pleasure of mine, I guess, because it's kind of hated, is the last Linkin Park album. Funnily enough, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I guess you say guilty pleasure. I actually like it more than probably most, but I think it was in this weird point where I was like full dad mode with both kids now at this point, and I enjoyed peaceful things. It's very accessible, and I liked it even before, unfortunately Chester Bennington had passed. But there's a lot of songs on there that Allie and I will blast and duo together.
Well, I bet you now all those people wish they could take it back.
Yeah. Look what you did to him.
That's fucking. I mean, no, it's true. I mean, when Linkin Park hit the scene in 2000, 2001, there were people who were like, "Oh, it's just fucking fake angry rock," and like, nah, he was kind of fucked up. I'm gonna edit that out because this podcast is so high and that's so low.
Yeah. Let's
talk about Lana Del Rey fucking Off to the Races some more. Now, all right, Cody. So we said we'd talk about video games. It's hard to say that video games are a guilty pleasure. I don't know, maybe me as a 42-year-old dad, it's probably becoming a little more socially acceptable to say that I play video games. But how about you? You're still kicking it in your early 30s. Do a lot of your peers still play video games?
Yeah, we do for sure. I mean, and I think this is like, I wanted to say any port in the storm for creativity, but it is kind of like there's like so many things that kind of get my juices going in my brain that I just love that I can come back around to accept and appreciate. Like I'm looking for like fucking perfect artists and creators in any like form of anything. I'm looking for the Steph Currys, the LeBron Jameses, the fucking Lionel Messi's, like in sports, in everything, just people that are like playing at the top of their game. And I think that's become more acceptable too in video games as well, because there's so many fantastic like stories out there with games too. And which I had fallen away from video games for a while because it was so it was so hard for me to dedicate like time to put toward video games where I could like appreciate it. Like now I think I feel like I jokingly talked about this on the podcast. I do feel like Leonard Shelby in Memento.
Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, I'm chasing this guy. No, he's chasing me.
Like, why am I on this horse? What am I doing here? And it's hard to keep track of like those ones. So I fell a lot into like FIFA, FIFA soccer football games, and fucking NBA 2K19 where there's like 20 minutes where I can play them and get in, get out. But yeah, I mean, I felt like it was really hard to find something that's like for video games that you're like, I'm embarrassed that I can't play this game. It's like, this game is fucking awesome. Like somebody still put their heart and their love into creating this. There's a reason you fell in love with it, to dedicate some of your time to it. But yeah, I don't know. So I did have FIFA. And this is what's good about it, is like the game that I love is FIFA 2K17, which only until like 3 months ago did I stop playing, but I was in season like fucking 28 or something, like I was a 10-year vet that was, making his way back to Liverpool to close out his years. Yeah. And so like I end up playing these games for a long time, and then I develop my career while I'm like going through these things. I'm like, what should I do here? The team's we're not winning as we should. I feel like I could find a better way,
it's a more interesting version of fantasy football, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's totally true. And with these games too, there's so much like FIFA, especially because FIFA is a game that's built for a worldwide audience. There's not a sole focus. It's built for a worldwide audience. Everyone's going to play football in that regard, and so it's built like an RPG. You get your points, you raise your character, you train your character, you can make your character better, you put your time into these other things. It's like it's like an RPG that everyone kind of like can get their heads around. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna make my character fucking 99 overall that can fucking dunk and hit the fucking threes like there's no tomorrow. And the same with the NBA, with the 2Ks, the NBA 2K19s. I can fucking, I'll Kyrie my way to the basket, and if you give me the ball on a 3-point line, I will pass it off to you, which is true to life. But
I become disillusioned with some of the NBA games, only because they've become to like a pay to win. You'll create your own character. And they've been doing this for the last 20 years. Madden kind of perfected it with the create a player. You only control that player during the plays. But now it's like you buy the $60 base game and you have to spend another $40 if you want to go anywhere in the NBA other than Kelly Olynyk's career path. So I play NBA. I used to, there were days that back in the day, Madden and the NFL 2K games, I used to run a online league of like 16 of us where we'd fucking connect over the dial-up modem and would play each other, and there'd be schedules and I had to organize it, and then people get mad at me because I beat them with the Dolphins back when they had like Ricky Williams and Jason Taylor. They're like, you're fucking cheating. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking not. Yeah, I love video games. Been playing them all my life. I still play, not as much, but like I said at the beginning of the pod, I've had a 15-year on again, off again relationship with World of Warcraft. It's just kind of like a nice world to settle into. I only play it for the lore. So
yeah, no, still, then that's like World of Warcraft was fucking revolutionary with everything that they were fucking doing. Christ, it gave us Leroy Jenkins. So
I did one time purchase Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball for the PS2 back in 2003, where all these scantily clad fighters just played volleyball on the beach. You just have me,
Yes.
Look it up on the internet. I won't. I don't think it's safe for me to describe it any more than I just did.
That's perfect. That's good.
So,
Code,
I think that's the podcast. If you've listened all this way through, tweet at us at spoilersobviously.com with your guilty pleasures. Maybe we'll talk about a few of them on the next podcast. But other than that, we'll catch you next time.